I had a viewer the other day ask me if I might think about doing a video on how I prepare my soil prior to the season. Now, this is quite frankly an area I'm not very knowledgeable in, so I'm just going to tell you what I did. When I put in these beds, I was brand new to gardening, and it was a lot to fill. I looked for options locally, and the only option I could really come up with was to use bagged soil. So I went to Walmart and got the cheapest bag soil I could get and the most volume for price, basically, because this took a lot of soil to fill these beds, a lot. And anyway, I think I started with 60 bags, the 40-pound bags, and I was still shy. I had to get another additional, almost probably twice that much. I don't remember the exact amount. Anyway, that's what I started with. And it was essentially it was really a lot of organic matter in it. I mean, by that I mean lumps of wood, lots of wood chunks. And it looked like it was all from the bottom of a forest or something, or I don't know where it comes from, but it was darker soil, but it's a lot of wood chunks, larger wood chunks. They still has wood chunks 3 years later, but they're not as prevalent. So I went ahead and used that and planted my seeds. It worked out great. My plants started doing well, but I did notice about 3 weeks, 4 weeks into it or so, I started getting a lot of mushrooms popping up, and I thought, well, that's weird. Maybe it's weird that soil had mushroom seeds in it. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And after doing some research, come to find out that all of that wood breaking down, that's part of the process. The mushrooms are probably help breaking the material down. And I did also notice that my plants were starting to yellow a little bit, and that started to concern me. And at the time, I didn't have much knowledge. Still don't have a lot, but I'm learning. And I thought, well, maybe this soil was too rich. It's got too much, because it said it was fertilizer enhanced, right? So I thought, well, maybe I got too much fertilizer in it, and it's burning the plants. I didn't know. I mean, I'm just guessing at the time. And I did a little more research, and so I didn't do anything, just watered it. As a matter of fact, I remember excessively watering it, thinking I could draw some of that fertilizer out, let it wash down, and that was my initial thought. That didn't help. I just overwatered the plants. So I delved a little deeper into it and found out possibly that the process of the soil and those chunks of wood breaking down actually uses nitrogen out of the soil. That's what I read. So I thought, wow, maybe they're nitrogen starved. So I got some fertilizer, and I started with this. Because I heard that this was a good natural fertilizer that's a little bit, it's not a huge shock. If I was a little afraid that maybe I was still right on the initial diagnosis, so I didn't want to overburn the plants or over fertilize. So I started with this, which is somewhat mild, but it's supposed to be really good. Neptunes Harvest. It's a concentrated liquid fertilizer. Just add it to water and water in your plants. Well, I added Neptunes Harvest. I'm not sponsored by any of these people, and by the way, this is what I used. I tried to stay with organic, and I want my garden to be pesticide free, and I don't like to use organic. What's the term? Manufactured fertilizer. So anyway, I did notice like a week or two later, after they started greening up almost immediately. And well, there we go. I need to fertilize. So I started fertilizing, and I started using these organic Epfoma products. They have a vegetable tone, a tomato tone. They have different types that have different, formulas for different types of plants. I use this on my tomatoes and peppers, and that worked great. And long story short, which I got a little sidetracked there, by adjusting what was going on in the bed originally and finding out what was wrong, I had a great harvest. Everything really just rebounded. The yellowing went away. I didn't lose any plants, I don't believe. I'm going back 3 years or so. But I ended up with a good harvest and a good first year of gardening, and I was really pleased with that. So this worked out for me, although it came with a few, I guess, complications, I still have some wood matter in here, but this soil has really broken down. It's amazing how I had big chunks, and now this soil is pretty nice and rich, and there's not many big chunks of earth in it or anything like that. Now, what I do now every year, and I've done it for the last 2 years, is these beds, because I filled the beds initially with lots of wood. I actually went down to the local junkyard where everybody takes all of their yard waste and stuff, and found some nice big trees someone had got rid of, and I took my chainsaw and hacked up some logs and brought them home and put logs in the bottom of all these, and then started with the smaller debris, leaves and things like that I found. Then I put the soil on top. And what's happened is, through the years, the 3 years I've had these, I'm sure the wood underneath is decaying, and these beds settle a little bit every year. Last year I had this bed and it was right up to here. So it's, even now, 3 years later, still settled a good 2 inches. So this year I'm going to go out and I simply, what I do is I simply cut off last year's plants and leave the roots in. I just snip them off, leave the roots in to rot in the ground, and then I'll go out and get some compost and some peat and add those to this bed. And I don't really try to disturb the bottom of the bed much. I'll remove any of this debris, stuff that's left over, and just add to the bed another couple inches of peat and compost, and then plant in them. So from here on out, the maintenance is fairly easy. That's what I'm doing. This is my 4th year, so I might be doing something wrong. I don't know. This is what I do. And so far, with the exception of last year with my tomatoes that I had a big issue with because I overcrowded them, as far as soil goes, I've never had an issue. This stuff, I love this stuff. I had really good results with this. And what I do before I plant my tomatoes or peppers or whatever is I dig a nice hole, place a handful of this in the bottom, and just rough it up, and get it all distributed. Put my plant in and water it in really well. And then periodically, every couple weeks, 3 weeks or something, I'll add some of it around the base of the plant and just rough it into the soil. And I had great plants. I mean, these are the 2 products. I don't see any reason to try anything else right now because I've had really good luck with them. So my advice for anybody just starting out is just maybe intimidated with starting a garden because you've heard so many things about soil, is I didn't complicate it. I think that I needed as simple a fix as I could get because I was doing so many things that were new at once with the beds and starting seeds for the first time in my life. And I went all in when I did this. I went all in with grow lights and heat mats and all that kind of stuff. So I was learning everything at once. And I absorbed a lot of videos and a lot of books and stuff. And I don't feel, quite honestly, a lot of times it's that imposter syndrome thing. I don't know that I feel qualified to give advice on this. I'm only giving you my perspective of how I'm doing it, how I'm learning to do it. And I'm sure some of the stuff that I'll show, I'm sure I'll be a mistake, or some people would correct me on it and say that's not the right way to do things. It might not be. I'm not claiming to be an expert gardener. I'm claiming to be a new gardener that's learning. So if that's okay with you, I'll just keep showing what I'm trying, what I'm doing. And I wouldn't take any offense to anybody saying, there's a better way, try this. I'll try it. I'll take the advice and learn from it. I think it's helpful. So if any of you have any advice on how you've done your soil, if any of you bought bag soil, had issues with it, mushrooms like I had, or found a soil that works better. I've had some people say I should have got bulk material from someplace. What they don't understand is I live in the middle of nothing, not really, but my closest retail stores like a Menards or a Lowe's and things like that, a town that has those type of things is an hour away. So to have soil brought in from that distance might cost a good amount of money. I spent a good amount of money anyway, but in hindsight, maybe I would have looked further into that, because I did spend a good chunk of money on bag soil for these beds. But now that's done, so I'm not going to worry about it. I remember one reason I did want to go this route, though, is because I didn't want weeds in my beds. I didn't know what a truckload of soil might have in it, where it'd come from. So usually your bag soil blends are pretty much guaranteed to be weed free. I know that there are exceptions to that rule, I've heard, but I was just trying to get as many issues out, that might crop up. I was trying to eliminate as many of those as I could. So again, my advice would be don't complicate it too much. I've seen people that went out and bought a bag of soil, split it open, threw some plants in it, and had success from doing that. Don't overcomplicate it. I never, and probably never will, get into pH and testing my soil. And I guess I just, if something happens in my plant, I'll just try again, or I'll do something different. That's just me, though. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that if you want to do that. I just, I never did that. I haven't had enough failure in that area to warrant going through all that trouble, I guess. I've been pretty successful. I can't think of anything that's happened in what I've done so far that was just a dismal result of soil failure. So I know I rambled on a little bit in this video, but I'm telling you all I know about this subject and what's worked for me. I hope this video had some value that you can take from it. If there's anything to take from it, I would say don't get too worked up about it. Just get you some soil. Start small if you're a new gardener. Don't get, if it's intimidating you, start small. Do some small pots first, or bags. They sell those grow bags, kind of handy. Do a grow bag or a pot and just plant some lettuce in it, or something just with a bagged soil. You'll have a mini patio garden. Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you come back. My name's Dennis, and if you like this video, check out another one of mine. I talked about the seeds that I like to use every year, the ones that never fail me. Might try that video. Anyway, take care.